Yeah, I mean, we had 10 days off or whatever it was there. And, that tournament, it was a great experience. We had lots of fun, but it happened quick. I mean, our boys were back here late night, 25th, or early morning, 26th, practice, get on the bus and get there. So we've got to get back into the details, the purpose, the process of our game, the conditioning. Absolutely 100% on us. But now these games count again. I mean, you know, they all count to us, but I think you know what I'm talking about. So yesterday and today yesterday was defensive zone, today was defensive zone and back checking with some conditioning in both days, and want to execute at a high level. That was the focus.
Given that you've had 10 days, we're coming off 10 days and played just the 2 games, how do you feel about where you're at right now?
Where we're at right now is pretty good. I thought yesterday's practice was really good. Today's was just okay. Not necessarily from an effort standpoint, but from an execution standpoint. That's what I'm basing it on. Our effort's usually pretty good. So I think we're in a good spot. And again, you know, I thought it was a big win for us on Saturday, not to leave that tournament empty-handed. I know, you know, we did not give ourselves a very good chance to win on Friday. But to win the game on Saturday was a good thing, and I think we were positive going into practice yesterday and carried over. You know, so we're excited. We're excited to get back in league play, and we know it's not necessarily the grind it was from a time standpoint as the first half was, but this next 14 games are all league games, and they're with the exception of the exhibition game we have in February. There, exciting time for us.
And then you talked a little bit before Christmas that you hadn't given a lot of thought to catching Ferris and Mankato, that it was more about you.
Yeah, that's going to stay the same, Kevin, and that's not to say that that's not something we're looking at, but I just don't know if it's a focus of ours. We put ourselves in a situation where we have 6 losses in the league. I think Ferris has none, and Mankato has 3 maybe, and you know 2 of those come to us. So it's a situation where it's not that we're not interested in the league championship. Obviously we are, but something that we can control is our play and our game, and if that enables us to catch those guys because we have a great second half here with league play, then so be it. But the other thing that's difficult is we don't play either one of them. We're going to need people to beat them. I mean, we're going to have to take care of ourselves ultimately. So that's why the focus will be on us and not on anybody else.
And with those things being said, you still control where you finish.
Sure, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, the top 4 teams in our league host. In my 4 years here, we haven't hosted, with the exception of last year. We haven't even been close to hosting. We're in a position where we control that, and everybody around us we play, starting with Bemidji and going all the way down. And you know, you've got Tech, you've got Lake, you've got Fairbanks. You know, we start this weekend here, you know, at Huntsville, but we play everybody that's right there with us.
And then you've got a Huntsville team that's already beat you once, and then has shown it can hang around.
They've shown they can play with anybody. I mean, the confidence they have against us is deserved because they earned that. You know, we've got a game plan. We feel like if we execute the game plan at a high level, we'll give ourselves the best chance. But the confidence Huntsville has, that's earned. That's something they earned, and we'll have to deal with that.
What does your team need to improve on based on the last time you guys saw the Chargers here at home?
I think we need to improve around their net. First, even Friday we scored 3 goals. We had 40 shots. We probably attempted 60. One thing Huntsville does very, very well is they block shots. I noticed the shot chart on Friday night at Wisconsin. It was 23 shot blocks to 8 or something for Huntsville. We have to find a way to get pucks through. We have to find a way to be a second effort team in front of their net. And then ultimately we need to defend better. Where they exposed us that side was Saturday night. They had a couple of opportunities and they garnered some momentum by scoring a goal here, scoring a goal there. We couldn't stop that momentum with defending properly, and that's something that, so basically you break it down. Offensively we need to be better and take more advantage, and defensively we need to be tighter.
What's the status of Ryan Carpenter for the weekend?
For the weekend, not great, but, you know, I think it's progressing. You know, we're 7 weeks, you know, it's, you know, I think we're all getting anxious to him getting back out there, but the fact is, it has been 7 weeks, and 6 of those 7 have been in a boot on crutches. And, you know, we all know that the body has 6 weeks of not doing something, it'll start to react to that. And now we got to break through it. Some of that scar tissue that's built up in his foot is breaking down when he skates and so on. And he skated yesterday where it looked like this weekend was a real possibility. And what we got hit with this morning was, this is going to take some time. And he didn't skate at all today. So, you know, we definitely want to take baby steps with this. And it's pretty much on him. I don't think this is an injury where he has to be cleared to play. This isn't a concussion or something like that. If he says I can play, he'll play, but he knows the rules about practicing, especially somebody like this that hasn't played one game all year. So I don't think this year, or excuse me, I don't think this weekend is overly realistic.
And how are things starting to look for next week?
I think they're positive for next weekend, you know. But if it's one day on, one day off for the next week, then next weekend won't be in the mix either. You know, we'll just have to see.
Yeah.
We'll just have to see.
What kind of percentage would you put on where he's at?
Well, because watching him yesterday, I would have put him at 90, really. With the exception of having hit and been, you know, hitting and being hit and all that kind of stuff. He was down low, he was competing, and then you know, for him not to skate today based on some soreness from yesterday, that says to me he's more like 65, you know. So I don't know that, but when you're one day on and then you can't skate the next day because of soreness, then I think the reality is you're 65.
And you had mentioned Andrew Wallace was going to be evaluated further. What did you guys find out?
I don't think he's going to be in the discussion for this weekend, and his is more of a practice thing. You know, we've got guys practicing full every day, and he's not able to do that. I do think that he's in a discussion to practice full tomorrow, but that's one practice heading into the weekend, and that's not good enough. So I don't think he's a real option.
Does he have a concussion?
He had a minor concussion, yeah, and then there was some protocol that came with that, and he got through that and felt, you know, he's feeling better every day. He saw our doctors on Monday. The go out there and skate Tuesday, potentially full on Wednesday. That's why I haven't talked to Fish yet to get an absolute for sure if he's going full tomorrow. But either way, if it's full tomorrow, that'll be the one day this week it's full, and that won't put him in the mix.
So he'll just have the one full.
Right, which isn't enough. So then he'll have, you know, one full tomorrow, and then some ice time on his own this weekend, and then a full week of practice next week.
See, when we watch you guys play, you're not a high penalty team. I mean, you're not the Broad Street Bullies from way back, but yet it just seems like it's more the timing.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it comes down to the decisions. You know, the play that a couple plays come to mind this past weekend, and you know, we only took 2 penalties against Boston College. And you know, I don't think we were competing at a great level, but we were competing. And Saturday, you know, the people that are taking penalties are not physical players. That's concerning to me. It's one thing if we've got guys that are running around, running people over, taking chargings, taking elbows, taking, you know, these kind of things. We got guys that don't play physical games taking penalties, whether they're not ready to make a play, which comes to mind. They're holding on instead of moving their feet, which comes to mind. And then whether it's just a poor decision. You know, all of that comes to mind. And, you know, the concerning piece to that is it's not new. This has happened. Now, we found a way to kill those penalties off, but 5-on-3 goal, 6 minutes to go in the game's over, 3-0 game. But we give him a 5-on-3 opportunity because of an undisciplined penalty and then another undisciplined penalty. So it's concerning, Kevin. I would really, really like that to become a player-to-player issue, where some of the older players are saying something to these guys taking penalties, and it's hard when Brett Moeller is one of the guys that takes 3 penalties, but those are things that I think, as much as coming from me, coming from within, it can be a very strong message as well.
Any other new injuries?
No, we're healthy.
And then any word on Bergeron yet? Has he told you what he's going to do? Or?
His first indication to me was that he's coming back starting January 13th. That decision makes me very happy if that's in fact what he does. We knew what we were bringing on when we brought Bergeron here, and it's our responsibility to help him get through this. And I have 100% confidence that he will get through it. There has to be some give from us, but ultimately the 100%, the most of the give has to come from him, and he has to realize that this is his opportunity. We can help him through that for sure, and we will help him through it. But it's something that he has to want to do. And first indication was that that's what he wants to do, and I think that's a great move on his part to come back and finish this thing, what he started.